good sights at any angle. Okay, this is but that keeps me busy.
What?
It's keeping busy. So yeah, that keeps me busy.
Mr. Boyd, this will be back by Monday.
Yeah.
He's out to him and me, and I'm out to him or him. Yeah. They don't have to.
Good to see you once a week. Maybe twice.
Twice in one.
Twice a week.
Barbara, you'll get us. Sometimes I move around.
Should be good.
Okay.
I'm kneeling too long. Yeah.
Let's keep you busy. Oh, look at this thing. Let's see, man. Long time no see.
Don't touch it, Bobby.
You touched it. I'm over it.
And we'll call the EMS.
sir. Thanks for coming, sir. Just make sure. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming in. Was made last night thanks to our partners at DPS, along with our organized crime group that were out working this information. Last night they received a tip that there was some narcotics trafficking occurring to some degree at a hotel downtown, 901 East Houston, the True by Hilton Hotel downtown. They established surveillance, and they noticed behaviors that were consistent with the tips, the information that they'd received, that these were drug traffickers. They actually initially obtained a warrant based upon that tip and executed that warrant at one of the rooms. Subsequent to that, they found that there was a secondary room associated with these folks, which again is a common tactic among traffickers. They have two rooms separated, not adjoining, one to sleep in and one to keep the product in, and that's exactly they discovered this. And what this is approximately 10 kilos of meth, but cut with mixed with fentanyl, I should say. You know, as you all know, we do a lot of educational programs with regard to fentanyl. It doesn't take very much fentanyl at all to kill somebody. You know, the universally recognized lethal dose being about 2 milligrams. This is considerably more than that. The street value on this, what we're estimating, is somewhere between $500,000 and $800,000 in street value. But again, the real fear with this is that fentanyl, once introduced to our streets, could absolutely kill a whole bunch of people, especially in light of the fact that they may not even know, as if methamphetamine's not bad enough, they may not even know what they're consuming. Is the methamphetamine they meant to take, along with a possibly lethal dose of fentanyl. And so, you know, once again, thanks to our partners at DPS us with this, you know, and continuing to be good partners with us in trying to get this stuff off our street. Queremos dar las tumbamos en una operación anoche. Nosotros arrestamos dos. Pero nuestros oficiales en información que estos dos sospechosos estaban traficando en metanfetamina en este hotel, True Hotel de Hilton, en 901 East Houston, en el centro de la ciudad. Ellos ejecutaron una orden de cateo en uno de los cuartos, pero de allí descubrieron que había otro cuarto un poco separado del primer cuarto, y ese es un táctico que los traficantes de drogas, ellos rentan dos cuartos separados, quedan en uno y luego ya ponen las drogas en el otro cuarto. Es lo que estaban haciendo. Estos son 10 kilos, aproximadamente 10 kilos de metanfetamina, pero también contienen fentanilo. Y ya sabemos el peligro que, pues obviamente el peligro que todas las drogas tienen, pero más que seguro el fentanilo, que no se lleva mucho fentanilo a matar a alguien. Entonces para nosotros es un gran honor poder estar aquí con nuestros socios de la Policía Estatal DPS, que pues obviamente ellos nos ayudan a diario con nuestras operaciones, y es un orgullo estar aquí con ellos para decirle al público qué fue lo que pasó en este caso. Questions? Nosotros aproximadamente entre $500,000 y $800,000 que de valor de estas drogas, pero el gran peligro es que alguien vaya a tomar metanfetamina, que es peligroso eso, pero muchas veces cuando están tomando drogas que contienen fentanilo, la persona tomando las drogas no saben que contiene fentanilo. Entonces el pendiente obviamente es que alguien vaya a pensar que están usando solamente esta droga, pero realmente están usando las dos drogas, y es algo que es más peligroso que las drogas regularmente.
¿La mezclada es lo que la hace más peligroso?
Es que está mezclada, y muchas veces las personas que están comprando o usando la droga no saben que contiene fentanilo también. Sure. Obviously the fear with any drug, right? And we're seeing right now fentanyl making its way into everything. Pill form. We've seen marijuana laced with it. We've seen it in liquid form, powder form. Obviously, we've seen it in cocaine and methamphetamine. The thought process for us is that the cartels are using that they're using that fentanyl as an ingredient to drive addiction. So fentanyl is probably about 50 times more addictive than even crack cocaine. So if you mix that in with a drug that's already addictive by itself, imagine increasing that addiction factor by 50 times. Not to mention you're also making it more deadly in the process.
What about the two individuals who were arrested? Is it helping you find the bigger picture, the bigger ring here? Because surely they're not just working by themselves.
Well, no, obviously for us, anything they were able to get from these folks, many times they clam up and don't want to say anything, and it's up to us to develop the case further. But sure, we always want to be climbing the ladder.
But you believe this extends all the way to the cartel?
Us right now is that, although we talk about, we always want a secure border, but in this instance, I think with this amount of dope, I think this stuff's still getting in. I think we're still seeing smuggling of humans and trafficking of humans. So for us, every time we change our tactic, the cartels change their tactics. We got to keep changing ours, and we have to keep upping our game. Obviously, with partners like DPS and our other partner agencies, we continue to do that exceedingly well together. But still, we have some work ahead of us. Clearly.
What are they using? Las formas como producen esto y también cómo está vinculado.
Bueno, este está hecho en un laboratorio, pero estos laboratorios no son algo como medicinas, sino que realmente es un laboratorio en la celda o en un edificio abandonado, y no es un proceso científico que usan para esto. Entonces ya de ahí las drogas son bien peligrosas porque no se sabe qué contienen. Pero sí sabemos que el fentanilo, hay más oportunidad, hay más chance que alguien vaya a ser adicto a esa droga. Entonces muchas veces usan esa droga como ingrediente en otras drogas para asegurar que las personas se vayan a poner adictos.
¿Está vinculado también con los carteles?
Oh, sí, cómo no. Ya sabemos que una cantidad así de drogas, sí, más que seguro que va a haber conexiones a los carteles. Para nosotros nunca nombramos los carteles, pero sí se sabe que obviamente hay conexiones a otras organizaciones. Dylan?
You answered it sort of, but in English, knowingly using an ingredient that's wiping out users of the product,
Sure.
It seems counterproductive to the money-making scheme of the cartel.
You're right. It does. You would think, and we address this. We do a class called One Pill Can Kill that we put out to the public. And in that's one of the FAQs, one of the frequently asked questions is, why would they knowingly kill their clients? Well, it's the cost of doing business for the cartels. Quite frankly, they know that for every person that dies today, tomorrow there's 100 new addicts that can't wait to take their place. So it's an acceptable loss to them to lose a couple of clients here and there.
Can you talk about the manufacturing in English, please?
The manufacturing in English?
Like the abandoned warehouse.
Oh, yeah. So as part of this presentation, we also do, we show some slides. Now, fentanyl, there is actually a pharmaceutical-grade fentanyl that you'll be prescribed, for something bad like an amputation of a limb, a hip replacement, cancer, something with like a lot of severe pain. They'll prescribe you medical-grade, pharmaceutical-grade fentanyl. But that's not what we're talking about here. And we do show what a pharmaceutical-grade fentanyl lab looks like compared to the labs where this stuff is made. This is made usually in a jungle mountain complex somewhere in a abandoned warehouse, and it's vats of the precursor chemicals of that, and there's nothing exact about it. For starters, not to mention the fact that this is just pure poison that people are putting in their bodies. The normal track for this drug, by the time fentanyl hits our streets, usually the precursor chemicals come from China. From China, they go to Mexico. The labs are in Mexico many times. Then they make it there, and then it comes into the country. Many times these drugs are brought, and I addressed this at the fentanyl walk this past week, again, using a statistic from our program that we do, our one pill program. Somewhere upwards of 90% of the fentanyl being brought here is being brought in by U.S. citizens that are working in conjunction with the cartels. So, while I can't ever say, I wish I could, I can't ever say that within my lifetime we'll win the war on drugs. Well, to families in hopes of at least saving people one person at a time.
Dices que estos dos es el inicio de algo más grande.
Oh, no, pues obviamente cuando se trata de tanta droga en un lugar, obviamente eso va a tener conexiones a las organizaciones de los carteles. Y pues ahorita, aunque nunca damos los nombres de los carteles que nosotros sospechamos, sí sabemos que esto hay conexiones, obviamente.
Yo había dicho que habían hecho algo fue un tip y que estaban en dos diferentes cuartos.
Sí, nosotros recibimos el tip que iban a estar en este hotel los traficantes. Ya cuando llegamos vimos actividades como que parecía que iban entre cuartos y contactando con gente, hablando con gente afuera. Ya nosotros ejecutamos una orden de cateo en un cuarto. Y de ahí, ese es un táctico que ellos usan usualmente los traficantes. Tienen dos cuartos separados, se quedan en uno y luego ponen la droga en el otro.
¿Encontraron algo más ahí, armas?
No, en este caso, estas personas eran les dicen mulas, y ellos no tenían armas ni dinero, ni nada así.
¿Historial criminal?
Ahorita no se sabe.
Can you say that about the rooms again in
tactic.
English?
Sure. They executed the warrant initially on one room, but then discovered that there was a second room, and they were not adjoining. They were separated. And yeah, it's a common tactic. They want to keep the drugs separate from where they are. So they were sleeping in one room and then had the drugs in the other.
And then y'all,
So we got a secondary warrant for the second room, and we're able to make entry and recover the
Do
drugs.
you believe these two detained or arrested are mules?
I believe they're mules. I don't think we got any major kingpins in custody at this point. I think these folks were low-level mules. And again, we'll see, what, if anything, we can glean from it, or if it goes anywhere, or if this is the underlying for us on this
Do you
case.
believe that the drug had reached its point here and then maybe head off, or do you think it was going to be
Well,
distributed in San Antonio?
Look, I think San Antonio is what we call a hub. We call it a hub because out of a hub for San Antonio, I think it was destined for the highest buyer. So it's probably going to be, stepped on here, cut. We call it stepped on, cut, and then repackaged, redistributed. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
High and the low, high and the low.
We can't get those. I'll send you. Yes, we're gonna get it.
I did a couple up and down.
that's what I'm thinking. The slide.
Oh. I think we have some discrepancy.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, and I have generic DPS and, like cars, like, we can,
I actually did a check